Hello, I'm Mark Owen from KVIN, Kirklees Visual Impairment Network. I'm joined by Sue, one of our service users, and in this short interview, we're going to talk about the impact of the COVID-19 lockdown and what that's meant for our service users. So, Sue, good afternoon and welcome.
Oh, welcome, yes.
Nice to speak to you, and thank you very much for agreeing to participate in this. So first of all, really, what would be useful to understand is how this coronavirus situation has affected your everyday life, and sort of in particular, really, how you would have used the services from KVIN.
Well, it's absolutely, totally devastated my social life. I suffer from retinitis pigmentosa. I'm registered blind, but I'm totally isolated from my family because I live on my own. Where I could go out during the day and socialise, go down to KVIN in Dewsbury, and also go to my ukulele class and my keep fit, that's all disappeared. As well as my social life as well, where my main sort of hobby is folk singing. So with the closure of the pubs and clubs, that's all gone as well. So I felt devastated, really.
So thinking about KVIN in particular then, you mentioned that you used to go down to KVIN sessions in Dewsbury, but what sort of things have you been doing with KVIN?
Well, the Dewsbury one has been a drop-in for cups of coffee, and it's been great to meet people of different ages and people at different stages with different sorts of eyesight problems. And it's just been nice to sit around and to exchange tips with one another. And you learn so much from each other. And as I said, a different stage in their journey, really, with sight loss.
And you used to visit KVIN in Huddersfield as well?
Yes, before the Dewsbury session started, I used to go to see David Quarmby, and he taught me how to use an iPhone. And one thing that was absolutely brilliant was that they also lent me an iPhone 4, because I'd never ever had a smartphone before, and I was always quite frightened to have a go. Every time I went into, say, the high street shops, they didn't really want to know. And I'd been working full time as a legal secretary. I could use a computer and all the IT there, but the mobile phone was the one thing I'd never managed to get to grips with. So once I retired, I went along and met David, who I found out about KVIN from my social worker. And it was great because he built my confidence up, and it was lovely having the use of that phone to take home with me and practice. And he built my confidence up, and it's changed my life having a smartphone. I mean, I would not have been able to do all the things I can now with the lockdown. I'd never have been able to attend the Zoom chats where we've all managed to keep in touch with one another.
So tell me a little bit more about that then. Obviously the situation has changed very dramatically. You've been involved with KVIN for a period of time, using both the Dewsbury and the Huddersfield service. And then of course, lockdown happens. It's had a huge impact in terms of your life that you described earlier on. But what is it that KVIN has been doing that's really had an impact for you now, and what sort of a difference is what they're doing now making?
Well, everything really, because it's, first of all, it's a lovely social thing. I can go onto the Zoom chats, and it's lovely to see and hear everybody's voices, and just have a general chat, and it makes you feel as if you're still part of society, really. Because as I say, I'm self-isolating because my brother-in-law is in his 70s, and he's self-isolating with my sister. So although they only live round the corner, I can't go and see them. So I'm only keeping in touch with them through Zoom chats. And it's also been great for us because we've been exchanging tips. Like, one of the big worries that all of us had was the impact on getting shopping deliveries, because with everybody else rushing to get deliveries, it was getting harder and harder to get delivery slots. So I was worrying about how I was going to get my food. And at first, the government weren't putting visually impaired people on the priority lists. And we gradually, over the weeks, found out what to do. We all exchanged various tips about, there were certain telephone numbers with supermarkets you could ring up. And over this last 3 weeks, the supermarkets have finally agreed that visually impaired people can have priority slots. So that was one of the things we all shared between us. Also, sorry.
I was going to say, I know you've been particularly active in that area, supporting people and sharing those contact details so that people can get that online shopping.
Yes, because we've got some fantastic volunteers that would be willing to do shopping for us at KVIN, but I want it to be as independent as I could. And it's great to sort of have that control back in your life again.
Absolutely. Okay. And you were going to bring up another point?
Yes, all about the various technologies, and we've been sharing all about tips about radio, podcasts, and bits of equipment. One lady's got herself one of the latest iPhones, and that's been nice finding out all about that. And we're also been learning with various podcasts that you, Mark, have been making about how to use the RNIB's new reading service as well, and how to get audible books. So yes, all these things are great, and also how to get onto internet radio. Anything that people have been bringing up that they're finding difficult, there's somebody's usually got a solution within the group.
And that's a really positive thing then, isn't it? Because there is a group of people out there who can all share ideas and support each other. So thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.